kind of otherworldly.
Yeah. Well, hi there. It's Esther Marcella with another episode of Outrageous Originality, where I and a soul that I love and admire spend some time outside when we get outside. And I ask them 3 questions about life and being true to self. Today, my guest is fellow YouTuber Emily Stark, the star creator of Fork This, where she experiments with Jello and yeah, take a look at that. Emily Stark on YouTube. And she also is a visual artist that creates with doll heads, and she can do a little tappa for us. So let's socially distance. Let's get 6 feet away from Emily over there. All right, there. Emily, I'm so nice to, you have a little set. I love it. She's a Virgo too, you know. So Emily, you have a YouTube channel that is very quite sensational. A lot of people watch it, called Fork This, where you do all sorts of things with Jello. Yeah. And also in your art you tend to incorporate doll heads. And so what I wanted to ask you is that as a visual artist, what is the attraction to or the significance of kind of dealing with the grotesque and macabre?
Okay, so yeah, why with the macabre and grotesque? And I mean, I've always been a spooky Halloween person and been interested in that. As a photographer, I did more nature photography. And I mean, flowers, trees, I especially like dead trees or trees in winter where you can see the shapes of the branches, and I like sometimes the interesting aspects of that. And it was really in quarantine. I made a diorama for just no reason. It was, hey, I'm bored, what if I spray paint this box? And then I cut out I had some like vintage pictures of kids in Halloween costumes as spooky clowns. So I was cutting those out and putting them in my little shadow box and like trying to take pictures of it just for another like photography project. And then I thought, well, what if I had some weird tiny dolls to put in here? And then I went on eBay and searched for creepy dolls. And by the time I got them, I mean, I was also going for walks every day just to get out of my house. And I found it was interesting, like, well, what if I put this, like, weird little spooky doll face here by this little flower that's starting to bloom or in these nature situations? And I just really like it. I like the contrast of the, like, very man-made versus nature scenes, the kind of surprising little bits and pieces of that. And, I mean, and honestly, there's a lot of people who do nature photography. You know, I look at that, I mean, I've got some okay pictures. I've got some nice pictures. But that's not, I don't have the, like, extensive portfolio of, like, really good pictures of flowers. But this feels like something where there's not tons of people who do doll heads and flowers. And it feels interesting, and it feels like something that is more authentically me. But yeah, here's another doll head. Garden ornament. Just got out my power drill. Drilled some holes on them, which is a really good stress reliever too, to just drill holes in heads. And yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's gonna hang out there.
And so I'm not asking you as a psych professor, but what is something that you would like all beings living at this time to understand?
Yeah, I think that's hard. That's hard to answer as a psych professor, because you did send me that question, and the first thing that occurred to me, and I don't know if it's just as a result of aging, but I feel like you look back on, like, I think about, like, going out to see bands with friends, right? And dancing and how fun that is. But when you're, like, the first person there, or there's no one else there, and you don't want to be those weirdos of dancing, so you just, like, sit there, but you really want to the whole time. And it's like, you know, you should just go dance.
Oh,
like,
man.
Right? You don't get those minutes back, you know? So, I mean, maybe as a psych professor. Like,
I threw you a curveball.
Don't care what other people think about you.
I threw you a curveball.
Even though we have evolved to be social creatures, and like thinking about other people is really the core part of what makes us human, I think that can hurt us sometimes, right? Because you worry too much about it. So that balance. Find your individual thing, care about other people, but don't let it stop you.
Yeah.
How's that? That's my wisdom.
And the dancing.
Yes. Yeah. See, perfect.
Which is a perfect segue. Because you have a little tap dance for us.
Yes.
Ah, okay. Listen. Yes.
This is something I worked on in my tap class last night. So. actually help them do anything. But,
That was amazing. It was kind of like a heartbeat. Like a COVID or a quarantined heartbeat. See, we can still have fun, folks. Okay.
Yes. COVID dance.
6 feet apart. COVID dance. Thank you, Emily Stark.
Thank you.